Hello YouTube, welcome back to another workbench video here with me and Matt. Obviously we're following the progress of the rails of Sheffield Terrier, which I am converting into Fenchurch. As the story went before, purchased this one ex-Gypsy Hill, obviously in the right livery, right kind of condition, but needed some work to transform it into Fenchurch. So I'm just going to show you and bring up to date on where I am, and so far I have changed the condensing pipes. You can see they're slightly more shiny than they were before. So I've removed the plastic ones, which you can see here, and quite to my surprise they weren't actually glued in at all, and you can see there's not really much or any glue at all, or glue marks on these condensing pipes. When I pulled them off, it was almost like a form of blue tack holding them in. It was very weird. So they came off very easily with a little bit of pulling away from the smoke box, and then the other end popped out of the tank without any trouble at all. So they were very easy to remove, which was extremely surprising. What I'd also thought I'd show you was somebody requested, or I asked if they wanted me to have a look at something for them, as unfortunately their terrier had a slightly wonky chimney, so I decided to get the body off on mine to have a look inside. And a warning to anyone who wants to take the body off to either oil it or put a chip in or whatever. In all of these terriers there seems to be a speaker already fitted. So if I turn this around, here you can see the speaker. Now this is stuck on the inside of the terrier body in the tank, on the side of the tank, and so you have to just ease it off. I was quite surprised at that. And obviously on the rear you can see a firebox light, which is just sort of mounted there in thin air really. Got your decoder socket around here, and obviously got your motor there as well. So quite an interesting, and quite, in a way, if you look at it, quite cluttered really. Not nicely laid out really in my view, but that's the insides of a dappled terrier. So obviously I won't be doing anything to this as of yet until I can get my hands on some brake rigging, which hasn't materialised yet at any spares suppliers. So I just thought I'd show you the internals and basically warn you before you take any parts or take the body off that there is a speaker stuck on the inside of the tank itself, so be very careful when removing the body. Now on the next section of this, which is going to be quite a lot of surgery, so if you don't fancy seeing a terrier being chopped up in part 3, don't look. But I thought I'd have a look at the cab, because something interesting I just spotted really in some different light. So I saw in one review, somebody's review, I can't remember whose it was, somebody said, oh, it's great that they haven't left all the holes in the front like Hornby's. Or have they? I don't know if you can see on this footage, but I was looking very carefully to see where can I put the holes for the vacuum pipe, the extra various rods that go through to the valves, etc. on top of the boiler. And then I looked a bit closer. Now if you can see next to this window, just hopefully where the end tip of the paintbrush is, there's a slight different colour, a small dark mark, and if I go over to here in front of the cab, there's another one, a small indent. Then there's another one on the other side just behind the whistle. What are those? Now they're actually in the position of the vacuum pipe which comes out of the cab here. Obviously it hasn't got a vacuum break inside the cab because they're all standard, but this will come out here, go down and across, and then all the way to the smoke box. So in a way that review is wrong. Yes, there aren't any holes, but there are small patches or filled sections where the pipes or rods should be, or would be if it was a different boiler type. So that's just made my job a lot easier. So I don't have to mark it out, and I don't have to guess and measure up where the holes need to be. So that helps me no end. So thanks Dapol for that one. But it's very difficult to see in this light, but you can just about see it. It's small little dark patches, and unfortunately this camera won't go any further in, so I'll try and get a better photo shot for you and put some circles around the areas I'm talking about. But there are indentations where they should be or would be pipework on different classes, so very interesting. So maybe that person needs to view the Terrier under a slightly different light. Anyway, in the next part we'll go into moving the dome, dangerous, and adding all the extra pipework and moving things around. Till then, see you in part 3.